Ladies and gentlemen, consistency is not something that just happens to you. It's not a gift wrapped up and handed to you because you woke up one day wanting it. Consistency is forged. It's hammered out in the fires of discipline, and it's something you've got to fight for every single day. Consistency is not something that happens to you. It's something you make happen. It's a deliberate and conscious effort, a choice you have to make every single day. Many people talk about wanting to be successful, wanting to achieve their goals, but they underestimate the power of showing up consistently. Consistency is not about how you feel. It's about what you've decided to commit to. Feelings come and go. One day you might feel motivated, the next day you might feel tired, uninspired, or even defeated. But if your actions are determined by your feelings, you'll always be at the mercy of inconsistency. And inconsistency is the silent thief of progress. The truth is, success isn't built in a single moment. It's not a grand, sweeping gesture or one big breakthrough. Success is built in the small, seemingly insignificant actions you take every single day. It's in waking up when your alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze. It's in making the extra call when you'd rather call it a day. It's in practicing your craft when no one is watching and when no one is clapping. These small actions, repeated over time, compound into something extraordinary. They create momentum. They create discipline. They create results. But consistency requires intention. You don't just stumble into it. You have to decide from the very beginning that you're going to stick with it no matter what. And here's the hard truth. It won't always be easy. There will be days when everything in you wants to give up, when progress seems slow, or when the temptation to quit feels overwhelming. In those moments, you have to remind yourself why you started in the first place. You have to anchor yourself to your purpose and push through the discomfort. Consistency is a mindset. It's a decision to keep moving forward even when the results aren't immediate or visible. It's trusting that every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goal. The problem is many people stop too soon. They don't see the results they want right away, so they think their efforts are wasted. But just because you can't see progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Think of a seed planted in the ground. For weeks, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are growing, the foundation is being built, and one day, that seed breaks through the soil. That's what consistency looks like. It's the work you do when no one is watching, the foundation you build when no one else believes. A-S-I-T. Consistency also requires sacrifice. It means saying no to distractions, no to procrastination, no to excuses. It means choosing long-term gain over short-term comfort. It's not always fun, and it's not always glamorous. In fact, consistency is often boring, but boredom is where growth happens. It's in the repetition, the practice, the grind, where you sharpen your skills and strengthen your resolve. In what separates those who succeed from those who don't isn't talent or luck. It's consistency. Talent without consistency is wasted potential. It's like a car with a powerful engine, but no fuel. Consistency is the fuel that drives you forward. It's what turns dreams into plans, and plans into results. What prepares you for today does not prepare you for tomorrow. It's what prepares you for tomorrow. It's what prepares But don't confuse consistency with perfection. You don't have to get it right every single time. You're going to have bad days. You're going to make mistakes. What matters is that you get back up and keep going. Consistency isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. It's about progress, not perfection. Every successful person you admire didn't get to where they are by accident. They got there because they showed up, day after day, even when it was hard, even when it was inconvenient, even when they didn't feel like it. They made a choice to be consistent, and that choice changed their lives. And that same choice is available to you right now, today. And that same choice is available to you right now, today. Talent is a natural gift, a spark that can set you apart from the crowd. It's what makes you good at something, sometimes without even trying. But here's the truth. Talent alone is not enough. Talent may open the door, but consistency is what keeps you in the room. It's not the most talented people who achieve the greatest success. It's the ones who show up day after day, putting in the work, refining their skills, and pushing through the challenges. Too many people rely on their talent as if it's some kind of guarantee for success. They assume that because they're naturally good at something, the world will reward them for it. But talent is like an uncut diamond. It's raw, it's unpolished, and without effort, it will never reach its full potential. Consistency, on the other hand, is the process of shaping that diamond, of turning it into something brilliant and valuable. The truth is, talent can sometimes create a false sense of security. When things come easy to you, it's tempting to coast. You might think, I don't need to practice as much, or I can get by without trying too hard. But talent without consistency will eventually plateau. There will always be someone less talented than you, but more disciplined, who is willing to outwork you. And in the long run, it's the effort, not the natural ability, that makes the difference. This was true in my case. I was willing to hold true to my decisions, and by the time the tide moved away, we were all in the same physical position. Consistency beats talent when talent doesn't show up. Showing up means putting in the effort even when it's inconvenient, even when it's uncomfortable. It's easy to perform when you feel inspired or when everything is going your way. But what about the days when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when progress feels slow? That's when consistency matters most. It's the discipline to do the work regardless of how you feel that separates those who succeed from those who don't. Think about the world's greatest athletes, artists, and leaders. Talent may have given them a head start, but it was their consistency that got them to the top and kept them there. They didn't rely solely on their natural abilities. They worked tirelessly to improve. They practiced when no one was watching. They refined their craft when no one was applauding, and they pushed through failures and setbacks. Blink number 3. Consistency is about commitment. It's a promise you make to yourself to keep going, to keep improving, and to never settle. It's about showing up, not just once or twice, but over and over again. That kind of dedication builds momentum. It compounds over time, turning small, consistent efforts into significant results. Talent may give you a moment of brilliance, but consistency creates a lifetime of achievement. People often admire talent because it's visible, it's immediate. But consistency works quietly in the background, building something solid and unshakable. It's like a marathon versus a sprint. Talent may help you win the sprint, but consistency wins the marathon. It's about the long game, about staying the course and not giving up, even when the journey gets tough. The beauty of consistency is that it's available to everyone. Not everyone is born with extraordinary talent, but everyone can choose to be consistent. You don't need to be the best to start, you just need to start and keep going. With consistency, even small incremental progress adds up to something extraordinary. Over time, you'll find that your consistent effort has closed the gap between you and those who seemed more talented. Consistency also builds resilience. When you commit to showing up every day, you develop the mental toughness to face challenges head on. You learn to push through difficulties, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. Talent may give you an edge in the beginning, but consistency gives you the strength to endure and the grit to overcome obstacles. Talent is a gift, but consistency is a choice. It's a choice to do the work, to stay the course, and to trust the process. Talent may get you noticed, but consistency is what earns you respect. It's what turns potential into reality, and it's the key to achieving lasting success. Hard days are an inevitable part of life, and while most people try to avoid them, these challenging moments are some of the most important. They test your strength, your resilience, and your determination. Hard days are not there to break you, they are there to build you. It's easy to show up and give your best when everything is going smoothly, but the true measure of character is how you respond when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, when nothing seems to go right, and when every step forward feels like climbing a mountain. Hard days teach you lessons that success and comfort never could. They reveal your weaknesses and force you to confront them. They show you what you're truly made of and push you beyond what you thought were your limits. Growth doesn't happen when you're coasting through life. Growth happens in the struggle, in the moments when you're uncomfortable, frustrated, and doubting yourself. Those are the moments when you either give up or dig deeper, and when you choose to push through, you come out stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were before. There's a reason why people say what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Hard days are the gym for your soul, your mind, and your character. They build resilience, the ability to bounce back after setbacks. Resilience is not something you're born with, it's something you earn through experience. Every hard day is an opportunity to strengthen that muscle, to prove to yourself that you can handle whatever life throws at you. Hard days also strip away distractions and force you to focus on what really matters. When you're in the middle of a tough situation, you don't have the energy to waste on trivial things. You're forced to prioritize, to cut through the noise, and to zero in on what's truly important. This clarity is a gift, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. It helps you realign your goals, your values, and your purpose. One of the most valuable things about hard days is that they make success taste sweeter. If everything came easily, you'd never truly appreciate it. Success earned after struggle is infinitely more rewarding because you know what it took to get there. You remember the sacrifices, the late nights, the failures, and the doubts. You carry the lessons from those hard days with you, and they make you grateful for the victory. Without the struggle, there is no triumph. Hard days also build empathy. When you've experienced pain, failure, or hardship, you're better able to understand and connect with others who are going through similar challenges. This empathy makes you a better friend, leader, and human being. It reminds you that everyone is fighting their own battles, and it gives you the humility to offer support instead of judgment. Another important aspect of hard days is that they teach you problem solving. When everything is going smoothly, you're not forced to think critically or creatively. But when you're faced with obstacles, you have to find a way around them. You learn to adapt, to think outside the box, and to keep moving forward even when the path isn't clear. This skill is invaluable, not just in tough times, but in every area of life. Hard days also remind you of your strength. Too often, people underestimate themselves. They don't realize how much they're capable of until they're put to the test. Hard days force you to tap into reserves of strength, courage, and determination that you didn't even know you had. They show you that you're stronger than you think, that you can endure more than you believe possible, and that you have what it takes to overcome even the toughest challenges. It's important to remember that hard days don't last forever. They come and go. But the lessons they leave behind stay with you. Each hard day is a stepping stone, a building block for a stronger foundation. And the more you face, the more prepared you are for the future. Hard days don't mean you're failing. They mean you're growing. They mean you're in the process of becoming the person you're meant to be. So even when it feels like the weight is too much to bear, remember that hard days are shaping you, preparing you, and building you into something greater than you were before. Failure is one of life's greatest teachers. It is often viewed as something to be avoided, something to fear. But in reality, failure is one of the most powerful tools for growth and progress. Every setback, every mistake, and every shortfall holds valuable lessons that can guide you toward improvement and success. Failure is not the end of the road. It's a signpost pointing you in a new direction. It's feedback, plain and simple, a message that something needs to change, whether it's your approach, your mindset, or your strategy. When you fail, you're given the opportunity to see what doesn't work. It strips away illusions and forces you to confront reality. In many ways, failure is a reality check. It highlights the gaps in your knowledge, skills, or preparation, giving you the clarity to identify areas that need work. Without failure, it's easy to become complacent, to believe that what you're doing is enough. But failure challenges that belief. It pushes you to reassess, to reevaluate, and to strive for something better. The beauty of failure is that it provides immediate and honest feedback. Success doesn't always do that. When you succeed, you may not take the time to analyze why something worked. You're just happy it did. But when you fail, you're forced to dig deeper. You have to ask yourself hard questions. What went wrong? What could I have done differently? What can I learn from this experience? These questions are the foundation of growth, and they only arise in the face of failure. Failure also builds resilience. Each time you fail and choose to get back up, you're training yourself to persevere. Resilience isn't built in moments of ease. It's forged in the fire of adversity. Failure teaches you to handle disappointment, to manage setbacks, and to keep moving forward despite challenges. It strengthens your character and your ability to face future obstacles with confidence and determination. In this way, failure is not a weakness, it's a stepping stone to becoming stronger. Another critical aspect of failure is that it fosters innovation and creativity. Some of the world's greatest inventions and breakthroughs were born out of failure. When something doesn't work, you're forced to think outside the box, to experiment, and to explore new possibilities. Failure encourages you to take risks, to try new approaches, and to push boundaries. It's often in the process of failing that you discover solutions you would never have considered otherwise. In one example, without failure, there is no innovation, no progress, and no breakthroughs. Listening to her was like getting a proven breakthrough every time, inherent boringness, and studying hard to prove anything else. Failure also teaches humility. It reminds you that you're not perfect, that you don't have all the answers, and that there's always room for improvement. This humility is essential for growth because it keeps you open to learning. It prevents arrogance and encourages you to seek advice, feedback, and guidance from others. Failure makes you more grounded, more self-aware, and more willing to embrace the journey of continuous improvement. Moreover, failure provides perspective. It helps you appreciate success when it comes. If everything were easy, success would lose its meaning. The struggle, the setbacks, and the failures make the victories sweeter because you know what it took to get there. Failure reminds you to value the process, not just the outcome. It shifts your focus from achieving perfection to making progress, from fearing mistakes to embracing them as part of the journey. It's important to remember that failure is not a reflection of your worth or potential. Failing at something doesn't make you a failure. It simply means you tried, and trying is the first step towards success. Many people let the fear of failure hold them back, but the truth is that failure is not something to be feared, it's something to be embraced. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back stronger. It's a natural part of life and an essential ingredient in the recipe for success. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count. What sets them apart is not their talent or their luck, but their willingness to learn from failure and keep going. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of it. It's the feedback that guides them, the challenge that shapes them, and the experience that prepares them for what's ahead. Happy people find the value of failure that takes them further because it creates the experience that prepares them for what's ahead. Failure is not the end, it's the beginning of something greater. Motivation can feel like a spark of energy that propels you to take action. It's that rush of inspiration you get when you watch an uplifting video, hear an empowering speech, or read a powerful quote. In those moments, you feel unstoppable, ready to take on the world and accomplish your goals. But the reality is that motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, often without warning, leaving you vulnerable to inconsistency. The journey really begins when it is the main stake of your success, and this is why discipline is essential. Discipline doesn't rely on fleeting feelings or momentary bursts of energy. It is the steady force that keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is like a wave. It rises and falls. It's easy to start a new project or commit to a goal when motivation is high. You feel enthusiastic, determined, and ready to make significant changes. But as time goes on, that initial excitement fades. The challenges start to pile up. The work feels harder, and the novelty wears off. This is where most people falter, because they've been relying solely on motivation to keep them going, including the pat you give themselves. When things get difficult, they will remonstrate and not do. When the wave crashes, they stop moving forward. Discipline, on the other hand, doesn't depend on the ups and downs of emotion. It's about showing up and putting in the work, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. It's the ability to stick to your commitments even on the days when you'd rather do anything else. It's about waking up early to exercise when your bed feels warm and comfortable. It's about saying no to distractions and temptations when your focus is needed elsewhere. Discipline requires effort, consistency, and sacrifice, but it also yields results. It's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. One of the reasons motivation is so unreliable is that it's tied to your emotions. Your emotional state is influenced by countless factors, many of which are outside your control. A bad day at work, an argument with a loved one, or even poor weather can sap your motivation. Discipline, however, isn't based on how you feel. It's rooted in commitment and routine. Whenever you wake up, when you rely on discipline, you don't need to wait for inspiration to strike. You create a system that ensures you keep making progress no matter what. Discipline builds habits, and habits shape your life. When you consistently show up and do the work, it becomes second nature. Over time, what once felt like a chore becomes a part of who you are. You don't think about whether or not you should brush your teeth in the morning. You just do it because it's a habit. The same principle applies to any goal. When you make discipline a priority, you build habits that sustain you through the highs and lows, ensuring steady progress. Another key difference between motivation and discipline is that discipline creates a sense of self-respect. Each time you honor your commitments, you prove to yourself that you're capable of following through. This builds confidence and strengthens your belief in your ability to achieve your goals. Motivation may give you a temporary boost, but discipline gives you the long-term assurance that you can handle whatever challenges come your way. Discipline also teaches patience. Achieving meaningful goals takes time, and there will be periods when it feels like you're not making progress. Motivation might tempt you to quit or switch to something easier, but discipline keeps you grounded. It reminds you that success is not about instant gratification. It's about persistence and dedication. Discipline helps you stay the course, trusting that your efforts will pay off in the long run. And be sufficient, it helps you stay the course, trusting that your efforts will pay off in the long run. While motivation often focuses on the big picture, discipline is about the small, consistent actions that lead to success. Motivation might get you excited about running a marathon, but discipline is what gets you out the door every morning to train. It's in the daily effort, the repetition, and the grind that real progress is made. Discipline helps you break down overwhelming goals into manageable steps, allowing you to move forward steadily. Many times, the goal that seems impossible in the beginning seems impossible. Discipline provides stability in an unpredictable world. Life is full of challenges and uncertainties, and motivation can be fragile in the face of adversity. Discipline, however, acts as an anchor. It gives you something to rely on when everything else feels chaotic. It keeps you focused on your goals and reminds you of your purpose, even when the road gets tough. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Breakthroughs don't happen by accident. They are the result of persistence, the consistent effort to push past obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. It's easy to believe that major successes are the result of sudden inspiration or sheer luck, but in reality, they are built on a foundation of perseverance. Every significant achievement is preceded by countless hours of work, trial and error, and an unwavering commitment to keep moving forward, even when the path seems unclear. Persistence is about refusing to give up, no matter how many times you fail or how long it takes to see progress. It's the determination to stay the course, even when the odds are stacked against you. Challenges and failures are inevitable, but persistence transforms these obstacles into stepping stones. Every failure becomes a lesson, every setback an opportunity to grow. Those who persist view difficulties not as roadblocks, but as part of the journey. They understand that success is rarely linear. It's a process that requires grit, patience, and the ability to keep going when others might quit. Fismeyer, on harnessing the power of fate. Breakthroughs often come when you're on the verge of giving up. There's a point in every journey where the effort feels overwhelming, where progress seems non-existent, and where it feels like continuing might be futile. But it's precisely at this moment that persistence matters most. Many people stop just short of their breakthrough because they let frustration or discouragement get the best of them. Those who achieve breakthroughs, however, push through these moments. They understand that persistence isn't just about working hard. It's about enduring, about holding on to the belief that success is possible, even when the evidence isn't immediately visible. Persistence requires a mindset shift. It's not about chasing perfection or avoiding mistakes. It's about embracing the process of learning and growth. Breakthroughs don't happen in an instant. They are the cumulative result of small, consistent efforts over time. Each step, no matter how small, contributes to the bigger picture. The key is to stay focused on the long-term goal, to remind yourself why you started in the first place, and to trust that your efforts will eventually pay off. This mindset allows you to stay motivated and resilient, even in the face of setbacks. One of the most important aspects of persistence is adaptability. Persistence doesn't mean blindly doing the same thing over and over again. It means being willing to adjust your approach when something isn't working. It's about learning from your experiences, experimenting with new strategies, and remaining flexible in the pursuit of your goals. Breakthroughs often require innovation, and innovation comes from trying, failing, and trying again with a different perspective. Persistence isn't about stubbornly sticking to one path. It's about finding a way forward, no matter how many detours you have to take. Persistence also requires discipline. There will be days when you don't feel like putting in the effort, when the work feels monotonous, or when progress seems too slow. On those days, discipline takes over where motivation falls short. It's the commitment to keep showing up, to keep doing the work even when it feels like nothing is happening. Over time, this discipline compounds, creating the momentum needed to reach your breakthrough. Success doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen for those who are willing to stay the course. Another critical component of persistence is patience. Breakthroughs rarely happen on your timeline. They often take longer than you expect, and the path is rarely straightforward. Patience allows you to stay committed without becoming discouraged by the lack of immediate results. It helps you understand that progress is being made, even if it's not visible yet. With patience, you can appreciate the journey, recognizing that every step, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goal. Persistence also involves belief, belief in yourself, in your vision, and in the possibility of success. Self-doubt can be one of the biggest barriers to breakthroughs, but persistence requires you to silence those doubts and keep moving forward. It's about holding on to the conviction that your efforts matter, that you are capable, and that your goal is worth pursuing. This belief fuels your persistence, giving you the strength to push through challenges and setbacks. Finally, persistence builds resilience. The more you persist, the stronger you become. Each obstacle you overcome, each failure you endure, and each challenge you face adds to your ability to handle adversity. Over time, this resilience becomes a powerful asset, allowing you to navigate future challenges with confidence and determination. Breakthroughs require you to be strong enough to endure the process, and persistence is what builds that strength. It's not just about achieving a single goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who can achieve any goal.